Hey, the draft is all about franchise changers, Shady McCoy. It's about future Hall of Famers that go into their team's franchise, regardless of what round they're taken in. It's about the players who end up getting their jerseys worn by the fans, whose name gets etched in stone for history. Who do you think is the biggest franchise changer in the NFL draft? It's here. Let's get to it.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking about, man, when I got this question? Did the Eagles know they was getting a dog like me in the second round?
No, they would have
taken
trying to figure that out. They would have taken it in the first.
Well, we had J-Mac. J-Mac was the man in college. Sorry about that. It's always not about myself. I'm going with Travis Hunter. This is an easy one for me. I'm thinking about, man, like, who's a guy who I just can't miss? Yeah. I don't care how bad the team is. I don't care how bad the coaches are. Who is a guy you can't miss on? It's Travis. Yeah. Because, look, we put him on defense, right? See how that works out. If that don't work out, okay, well, we'll put him on offense. Yeah. I think a guy with this type of conditioning, this type of attitude, this type of competitive nature, man, you can't mess with him. I always give these players advice. They ask me, hey, Shady, you know, what's some advice going to the NFL? And the number one thing I tell them is two of them. One is be dialed in, man, and be a good teammate, right? Be that rookie where I don't care, hey, carry your pads, watch after tape, whatever it is, I'm going to do. The second thing is, if you was cocky and arrogant in college, be cocky and arrogant in the pros. Don't let these old heads try to tell you how to work or not how to work. Don't do that. Go on there not trying to fit in, but be the fit. Yeah. And they say, what do you mean by that? I said, well, there's a lot of rookies that come in the league as superstars in college. They come to the pros. All right, man, I just don't want to mess up. I just want to do everything right. No. Come in there with that swagger like, yo, I'm about to do these boys in. Yep. Because the same person you was in high school, you was that in college, was probably a little better, a little faster, a little stronger. The same dude you was in college, you're going to be the same thing in the pros, probably a little faster, a little smarter. That's the only difference to me. So that's my biggest thing is, and I think Travis Hunter has all that.
I like that. No wrong answer there. I'm going to go the different direction. I'm going to go with an offensive player. I'm going with Ashton Jeanty.
Ooh. He's nice, too, though.
I'm going with Jeanty for this reason. I wanted to go with the defensive player. Obviously, I play defense. But when I think about some of the best draft picks as of late defensively, you can only change a franchise so much. Micah Parsons, an absolute phenom. Cowboys still have struggled, particularly in the playoffs. You think about defensive players, whether it's cornerbacks here, cornerbacks there. Patrick Surtain, an absolute phenom. But until the Broncos got a quarterback in Bo Nix, they still struggled to even sniff the playoffs. And even with Bo Nix, obviously, albeit a rookie, they were just one and done once they got to the playoffs. Shout out to defensive players, but we just do not have the opportunity to impact the game as much as a guy like Ashton Jeanty. He can touch the ball 28 to 32 times a game. We saw what Saquon Barkley did with the Philadelphia Eagles. We saw what Derrick Henry did with the Baltimore Ravens. Ashton Jeanty, you have to think about this for a moment. He had 5 touchdowns of 70 yards or more last season. That ties LaDainian Tomlinson for an FBS record. So you know he can take it to the house. But beyond being able to take it to the house, Ashton Jeanty can take what should be a 2nd and 12 to a 2nd and 6. What should be a 3rd and 8 to a 3rd and 2. That in the NFL is the difference between winning and losing. He's not going to be able to take every ball to the crib. It's just not going to happen. The NFL's different. They're going to tackle him, unlike some of those defenders at some of those different smaller schools. But when I think about a guy who can change a franchise, who can touch the ball the most, who can impact the game the most, and who do I believe is a can't-miss prospect on offense, I think it's Ashton Jeanty.
We know how high Travis Hunter's going to go, probably first 2 or 3 picks. How high, because that's an interesting one for Ashton Jeanty, how high, if you were a GM or a head coach, would you feel comfortable drafting a running back? Because we all know the running back positional value has gone down. Yeah. Now it's come back up with free agent signings. But to draft a guy, are we talking 5 to Jacksonville, 6 to Las Vegas? Are you comfortable taking a guy that high?
I think Jacksonville at 6 could make a lot of sense. I would not want to take Ashton Jeanty that high, personally. But after watching what Saquon did, after watching what Derrick Henry did, albeit with all due respect, I don't know that Ashton Jeanty, I do know, at least out of college, Ashton Jeanty is not the player of Saquon Barkley. But I think based upon the Raiders' needs, I would take Ashton Jeanty.
I would say this real quick about the running backs.
Please.
I think it's really, really changed. If you look at all the top teams, right, like the Eagles, great team. The best player on the team is probably Saquon Barkley.
Yes, no doubt.
I look at the Ravens. I mean, Lamar Jackson's phenomenal, but we would say that him and Derrick Henry is kind of on the same plane. You get what I'm saying? All the winning teams, like.
And I think that's what's cool about it is the running back position is back, but it's also, it's like, how do we figure this draft class will do? Because those are free agents that have done it, but now teams are putting more and more value on that. I'm going to go with a guy who has the ball in his hand every single time.
Who's that?
And that is the quarterback Cam Ward. Look, Chase, this is such an easy one because he's the overwhelming favorite to go first overall. I understand that. But if Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter were actual franchise game changers in the way that a quarterback is, they would go number one.
Of course.
So Cam Ward's going number one because at the end of the day, and this has always been the case in the National Football League, quarterback is where it's at. Mm-hmm. It is the highest positional value, and it's not even close. I would suggest D-end, Abdul Carter, would be the second highest positional value. Chase, what's positional value? You put a premium on quarterback play. Think about the NFL today. There's probably 18 to 19 guys that these franchises probably trust to run their franchise for the next 5 years, not even decade, okay? And the rest of them, the 10 to 12 other franchises, they're consistently turning over rocks to try and find that guy.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Cam Ward is the overwhelming favorite to be the number one pick.
Yeah.
It's because he has the arm talent. He has the it factor. He can make any throw out there, all the different arm angles, stuff like that. The Tennessee Titans, they have a lot of other holes than the quarterback. But what are they going to do? They're going to go out, they're going to draft a guy who's going to be the day one starter. And even if he's an inkling as good as what Jaden Daniels was or what Bo Nix was, they hit on a quarterback that they can build around. And so for me, it's always going to come down to positional value. And for Cam Ward, he's shown it. He's got the highest ceiling of the quarterbacks in the draft.
These are all some good ones, and this is why I think that mine's the best. Just because I look at Cam Ward, I don't know his ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't even know his floor, right?
Yeah.
Jeanty, like I think he's really, really good. Playing in the smaller schools, I don't really know his ceiling. Like you bring all these long touchdowns. I don't know if he's doing that against LSU. I don't know that, right? I just know he had a lot of talent. What I do know about Travis Hunter, though, I do know his floor. His floor is all pro.
Yeah.
That's what I do know. I don't know his.
On the young man.
Is it? I mean,
all pro.
See, last thing I'm gonna say, man, because y'all think I be crazy sometimes. I'll talk about my takes about how I really feel inside. But when I talk about them stars that y'all like to say, y'all laugh about, just know this for a second. I don't care what coach it is, what player it is, what division you played in, pros or not.
Yeah.
Everywhere Travis Hunter has been at since birth, since his mom birthed him, right? He's been the best when he was 5 years old.
Yep.
He was the best when he went to elementary school.
Yep.
He was the best in high school in the country. He was the best in college.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes. If it's Jackson State or if it's Colorado, I'm the best everywhere. I get to the pros in the draft. I'm going to be the best player in this draft. So when we ask about these questions, I could question Cam Ward. I could question Ashton. I could question. Yeah. I can't question a player.
The best player in the draft.
No. I can't question a player. I've always been better than everybody everywhere I've been at.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So knowing that, it's like if I'm a coach, it's a no-brainer this guy's going to change my franchise because he's always done it.
If he goes to Cleveland, day one, you're putting on his helmet. You're strapping it up. Where is the first place he lines up, in your opinion? Is it DB or receiver? The very first, and you're saying you are this.
This is the hardest question you asked all morning. Oh. You know why? Because he's always been the best at everything. I've been the best at cornerback and wide receiver. I was up this year for the best cornerback in college football and the best wide receiver in football. And I was such the best at everything, I won the Heisman. So when I add, my thing with him is, I'm so good. I've always been this good. So I can't fail.
Here is my...
It's hard to fail for him.
My concern is this. I like this conversation. Love what y'all bring up. This is what I love about the facility. Say Travis Hunter goes and has an all-pro year with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
They are still a 6-win team. If Cam
my
Ward has an all-pro year with the Titans, they're an 11-win team.
No doubt.
If Ashton Jeanty has an all-pro year with the Raiders, they're probably only a 7-8-win team because positional value. But, like, say Travis Hunter has an all-pro year with the Giants. They're still a 7-win team. So Shady is exactly right. And I think Travis Hunter is the best player in the draft. Absolutely no brainer. But Derek Stingley was a beast at corner. Before C.J. Stroud got there, they won nothing. J.C. Horn's second highest paid corner. Before Bryce Young started playing well, and even with Bryce Young playing well, they're not winning a lot. Myles Garrett isn't just an all-pro. He's a generational talent, first ballot Hall of Famer. And the Cleveland Browns only have one playoff win, I believe, under Myles Garrett's tenure, maybe two, because they won with Joe Flacco last year and they won with Baker Mayfield. 2 playoff wins. It's just to me that, yes, Travis is the best. But at receiver and or at DB, I just...
Them dudes ain't Travis. None of them guys you say is Travis.
Myles Garrett?
None of them dudes are Travis.
That's where you lose me.
Okay.
That's where you lose me.
I'll just say respectfully.
And what do you explain though?
We've never seen nothing like Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Tell me a guy like him that we can name around name him.
Closest is Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson's not him. We asked Charles Woodson when we interviewed him, right? And he said, no, he's different than anybody I've ever seen.
Possibly.
So Myles Garrett's a great player. He's a Hall of Fame type guy for sure. But we've seen him before. We've seen great DNs. We've seen him. We haven't seen nothing like Travis Hunter. We have conversations about, is he going to play offense and defense in the National Football League?
Sure.
I've never had this conversation. I've never seen it.
But even consider this, Shady. Assume in some utopian world, Travis Hunter is simultaneously an All-Pro on offense and an All-Pro on defense.
Playing 120 snaps a year.
Playing 120 snaps. Say somehow he goes for 1,800 receiving yards and 9 interceptions, which isn't going to happen. But say that somehow happens. The Cleveland Browns are still only going to win 9 or 10 games.
I don't know that. I don't know that if you got a guy that's going All-Pro on both sides.
Which is impossible.
It's never.
See, now, hold up. Now, this is the issue we having with the impossible word. We just had Easter. It's a lot of things impossible. Okay? Okay? All right? Okay? All right? Real quick.
He is risen.
He is risen. Now, you said impossible. Don't use that word after Easter, okay?
Fair. That's on me.
When Slick was on here, I can't wait for him to get back on his desk so we can talk about it. If you ever watch Nike when they building their whole, thing, right, company, and they said, we need a player to match Nike. And they interviewed Michael Jordan, they said, we want to offer you this. And the mom said, no, we want more than what you're offering. Yeah. He said, well, ma'am, for your son to get MVP, Defense Player of the Year, and All-Star Player of the Year, it's going to be hard to do.
He did.
And you know what happened, Chase? They said it was impossible. You know what Michael Jordan did? He made it possible.
I just want to make sure you're
trying to tell you.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.